Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Lysiak with Empower Coaching Network. And I'm really excited to be here today. This is part 3 of the series, which is Wipe Out Negative Thinking and Negative Results for Positive Results. So I'd love to continue on with you. So if you are listening in, if you would just put your name in, where you're from, and any questions and comments you have, because I'd like this to be a dialogue so we can have a conversation going back and forth. I can answer questions for you and give you some coaching tips and really help you to get rid of the negative and create some positive in your life. So what I love to do is I help people, I help aspiring coaches, practitioners, and high vibe women and men to reach their aspirations in life, to really get deep, to really uncover what they truly want in their life, so this is a deeper process and they can live the life of their dreams. What we do is we uncover what their dreams are. We uncover what's stopping them. What are the limiting beliefs and false beliefs that are stopping them? Then we create some new beliefs that are in alignment with their aspirations. And then finally, we set some purposeful goals so they can accomplish these goals and create what they really want in their life. So what I'm going to do here first is let's just see who's joining us. If you would put in your name and where you're from, and I'm going to put something in here. So that way people can see what this is about. So let me put that in. So if you would put in your name and where you're from, and then any questions that you have. Now, people that are listening on the replay, thank you so much for being here. Hi, Kim. Good to see you. People that are listening to the replay, if you would also put your name, where you're from, any questions and comments, and if you would give me some hearts, give me some likes, and if you know people that would really benefit from this information, if you would share the information, because really what I'm all about is helping people and making an impact on the world so it's a happier, better place for all of us. And all of us are really living our dreams and being extremely happy and fulfilled. So please share that. And thank you so much again, replayers, for being here. So let's continue on. So Kim, good to see you here. And same thing, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in. And anybody else who just joined, if you would do the same, because we've been having a great conversation and great dialogue. And that's because of you and putting in your comments in. So what we did this week, we started on Tuesday, and it's all about getting rid of the negative thoughts that you have that create the results, and then putting in place of it positive, to get positive thoughts, which then create the positive results, because there's a correlation between the two. You get what you think about. You become what you think about. Thoughts are things. So it has, the cause and effect. What you're thinking about has the effect on the results. So part 1 that we talked about was about the negative thoughts and beliefs that you pick up from other people. So it's outside. It's people in your environment, people that you work with, friends, family. It could also be from the media, TV shows that you watch, books that you read, things like that you pick them up. And then we had some solutions for you with that. And the 2 solutions was to monitor your thoughts, monitor who's around you, monitor your friends. I mean, you can't control what they say, but you can control whether or not they're your friend. So monitor the thoughts that you're picking up, the beliefs that you're picking up, and monitor them, and then reprogram your brain. So what you want to do is you want to read some really great motivating books. There's some great speakers out there, some great authors out there. They've got some great books, whether you want spiritual books. You can, a great book is, Zig Ziglar, See You at the Top is a great one. Another great one is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Another great one is Thoughts Are Things by Prentice Mulford. But there's some great books out there, and there's some great stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of great audios as well. Abraham Hicks. So just kind of feed your mind like you would feed your body, great nutrition, so that it goes forward with positivity. So you really have to be in charge. So that was part one. Part two, what we did yesterday was we talked about yourself, how you are impacting your beliefs, how you're creating your results by your thoughts. And we talked specifically about the subconscious, which started from conception to predominantly 4 years old, but 8 years old, but it keeps going. You know, you keep recording things, you keep picking things up as an adult as well, except as an adult, you have discernment, so you don't necessarily pick it up. So part three is we're going to kind of continue on with the subconscious, but we're going to talk about your dreams and are you living the life of your dreams and living your aspirations, because that impacts your attitude as well. So let's start with that. So the first question I want to really ask you is, are you happy with your life? So you can just answer that question in your own heart, but are you happy with your life? Because if you're not happy, you're going to keep creating more unhappiness. You're going to keep living that, and you're going to be impacted by that in many different ways. So let's talk about it in breaking it down specifically. Let's talk about it in health and how your beliefs are impacting your health. You know, it's been proven that about 5% of the illness that's out there is a result of genetics, but 95% is a result of epigenetics. So what is epigenetics? Epigenetics is your environment. It's above genetics, so it's your environment. It means it's your thinking, it's your family's thinking, your family's beliefs, your environment and where you live, how you live, the way you live. All of that contributes to whether or not you're healthy, whether or not you feel great. So a lot of times people will continue to say this, and so they create this where, well, my family has, we have arthritis that runs in our family. And so every single person in the family gets arthritis. Is it because of genetics? Well, it's been proven that it's not. It's proven it's epigenetics. So it's the belief that was passed down. And if you believe that you're going to get it, it's that strong. Your belief system is so strong that it will create those results. And so your health is really impacted by these subconscious beliefs that you have. When I work with people, and I used to work one-on-one with clients in wellness, there was a correlation between whether people were happy and sickness. And I found that the sickest people that came to me were the ones that were the most unhappy, that the people that had, you know, had some major diseases that they needed some support with lifestyle changes, they had a lot of unhappiness. So that has a direct correlation and it impacts it. So ask yourself, are you passing along beliefs that you've been told that impact your health? Like, what do you believe about your health? Do you believe that your body self-heals? Do you believe that the body is so powerful that when you get that paper cut, it heals itself? Just like if you broke your bone, they just set it and the bone heals itself? Or do you believe that you have to take all kinds of things to be healthy? Do you believe that you can change and that you can create health if you're not healthy? Do you believe that your body has that ability to just all of a sudden you can change your environment and become healthy and eat healthy and think healthy thoughts and do some movement and then change that? So that has a direct correlation, your subconscious beliefs. And the next category is wealth category. You know, that came up, somebody put a comment in yesterday about money, and that's where they're having the issues with money. Well, money probably has the most beliefs that impact us. In other words, when I work with clients and find out about their money beliefs, there's some strong ones that are really deep rooted. You know, the beliefs of that money is the root of all evil. That's a big one that you might have picked up from your family or from church or from religion. Another big one is that we don't have enough money. What do you think? Money grows on trees. Different sayings, sayings that might be funny, but they're not. They're taken seriously, or we can't afford that. That's another big one. And so you believe that. Subconscious beliefs that you might pick up, which maybe your parents would argue about money because one has a belief of spending, the other has a belief of saving. And so they would argue. So that impacts. So I'm interested to hear from you out there. What kind of beliefs do you have regarding money? Because again, money is a challenging one when you're working with clients to uncover because they're so deep rooted and sometimes they're hidden. But once you can clear those beliefs, they can have a total turnaround. But of course, you have to change your thinking about money and you have to change your habits. So you just can't go, well, I'm clearing my beliefs and so now I'm going to be a millionaire. You actually have to do the habits that create the millions. So you have to change your thinking about money completely and your habits about money. And so whatever you're doing isn't working. So Kim, you have any sayings or any things that came up for you regarding money? Anything you want to share? But money is interesting. If you have conflict in your home where your mom and dad were different about money, then that is going to create conflict with you. So you may find that you're doing really well, with your business and everything's going really well. And then all of a sudden something else happens. And then you have that other belief. I was sharing yesterday that the belief that I had going on in my family was not my direct family, like my parents, but it came from my grandparents. One of my grandparents was struggling as a business owner. I mean, really struggling. And then the other grandparent was very successful. So this was my grandmom who was very successful, who was my mentor, my first mentor. But even though I didn't know my grandfather because he passed before I was born, it was passed down to my dad. And my dad would be saying things to me like, why do you want to have your own business? Why don't you just stay in corporate America? You'll get a good income if you stay in corporate America. You don't want to have your own business because of what happened with his dad. And he was not really happy when I had my own business. When I went for my own business, he was supportive, but he was also saying, don't do that. Go back to corporate America because, his belief was so strong that it would be a struggle for me. So Kim, let's see what you've got to say here. The parents believe that you must have a regular job in order to make enough money to live, and you're an entrepreneur. It's different. Yep, same thing that I was just talking about. And so that really impacts you as an entrepreneur. I remember I went to a college campus, and they asked me to the school that I went to for college asked me to go back and speak and to work with a small business. It was an entrepreneur platform. And so they asked me to speak there. And so when I was talking to the college students, I was asking them, so do you want to be an entrepreneur? Now here they are, they're in that entrepreneurship part of school. I said, so you want to be an entrepreneur? And they're like, no. I was like, really? Why? You're in an entrepreneurship. And they said, oh, I could never do that. I could never be an entrepreneur. Well, that's a deep-rooted belief because your belief is going to make it or break it for you. So your parents' belief will impact you because it's already been implanted. So you've got to really, check in with that, Kim, because you might be like me where, my dad, every time he, would see me, he would be like, you got to get out of that business. And my business was successful. I loved this business. It was my dream business and I was very successful in it and I loved it. And he would always try to rain on my parade. Like, well, you do better in corporate America, but but I'm really happy here and I'm doing really well. This is my passion. And he meant well. It was just his beliefs that were so ingrained. So that does impact you as well. My dad always would tell me that you're going to go to school, you're going to go to college, and you're going to work for corporate America. Now I did, and I was working for my dream company. So that was a good thing, but I did follow that belief that I needed to be in corporate America. And to really be successful, I went, up the corporate ladder and did that. But, it was really his belief, not mine. And then I had my belief, which was I can be an entrepreneur. And then I did it. So Kim, what else are you saying? No, he doesn't understand. Well, I can't say that my dad did understand, but my dad supported me. He was always there for me. He always supported me. And he helped out in many different ways when I was having my own business, but he would just have his belief system. So I just learned to not listen to it, to kind of tune it out. Is like, just let him say his piece, but it wasn't my belief. And so I'm not going to take it on. But you have to really implant that belief in you, that I believe in me, and I believe that I am successful, and I believe that I have a successful business, and that I will be attracting great clients. So you just have to keep, planting that seed within, so it's not impacting you. That's the best thing to do. Let's see. Dad supports me, but fearful of my failure or your future. Yeah. Well, but deep within that you can do it, and just keep doing that, and just, make him feel good and let him know that you're really doing well and that things are really working out for him. But it is a mindset that they take on, because it was what was going on at that time, what was going on, because if they came from the depression, that's definitely going to impact. Grandparents coming from depression is going to impact. My grandparents came from Poland, so they came from communist regimes. So that was passed down, and that impacted my mom, impacted me. So all of this really plays in. So you really want to look at those beliefs and really get rid of them. So let's take a look of money itself. Money is a real tough one too, because there's so many different beliefs, and there's so many beliefs that come from everywhere, conversations. There was one I remember that I had, it was really interesting, and then it came up, and then I was able to clear it, but it was taking money from people. That was a tough one for me in my business. And I look back to where that came from, and it was that my grandmother's friends would always give us money. Every time they came over, they would give us money, and they would give us like a $5 bill or something. And I remember they gave me money, and my dad saw me having a $5 bill, and he was like, "Where'd you get that money?" And I said, "Well, Mrs. Golanka gave that to me." And he goes, "No, you have to give it back. You can't keep that. You have to give it back." And I was like devastated. Like, "Well, what do you mean I have to give it back? Why do I have to give it back?" He says, "You can't keep that money. You have to give it back." So my dad's belief was that you can't take money from people, maybe it was a pride thing. I don't know, but he didn't want me to take that money, and I had to give it back. And I think I did give it. I think I gave it back, and she took it back. And I felt like, geez, I don't understand that. And, she gave it to me as a gift, and I couldn't keep it. So that came back, and I had to clear that, because it was challenging to take money from people. So all of you people that are entrepreneurs, if coaches, wellness practitioners in particular, if you're having issues taking money from people, if you're not charging enough money, that's a belief. That's a belief system. Now, when I work with coaches and I work with entrepreneurs, I check their belief and I check their wage. And I don't want to say wage, because when you're an entrepreneur, you don't have a wage. But let's just say that you kind of equate it, for the sake of this example, that you're going to go, well, I'm going to charge $100 an hour. And when I work with them and I muscle test them, they don't even believe that they're worth $100. And so they're not getting $100. And so you have to work with them to move up so that they can actually get the money. But that's a huge one. If you're discounting your prices all the time, if you're undercutting yourself and you're not even getting $50 an hour, that's because it's a belief, and that's the belief that you can't take money. Or maybe it's a belief that you can't take money when you help somebody, because wellness people have that. It's a big one, big thing for wellness people. Because I know myself, in talking to my friends, I got myself up to what I believed in, but I would ask the other people around, and they would be saying that they're like charging $50 an hour for a session. And they're so undervalued because they feel that they're not worth charging that, because they're helping people. Or spiritual people. Maybe if you're a spiritual practitioner, you feel the same, that you can't charge. And you have that belief because there's people that will say that. I'll see that sometimes on Facebook. Well, if you're working with people spiritually, why are you charging? You shouldn't be charging. But, it's your living, it's your livelihood. God wants us to be abundant. So check that belief, because that for sure is impacting a lot of coaches and a lot of wellness practitioners and spiritual practitioners as well with the money. And also your beliefs in how you spend money. But watch what you say. I tell my clients, don't speak the words, "I can't afford it." Just wipe that out of your vocabulary. Don't say, I can't afford it, cancel, cancel, because you can. And that is related to your belief in your value and your worth. If you don't think you're worth that, you're going to say, I can't afford it because I can't afford that for me because I don't feel I'm worthy. So money is a huge one. The other one is in love, in relationships. So think about the beliefs in relationships. You know, I certainly had my share when I was mostly I'd say out of high school, college with my boyfriends. You know, it was like I didn't necessarily call in the right boyfriends. And so I had some funky beliefs there about relationships that, you know, I uncovered those, released those, and changed that. So, and it could be just about age too, because I really didn't, you know, when you're young like that, you don't know. But how many people do you know keep calling in the same relationships? It's a different person, but it's the same thing. It ends badly. Somehow they call in the wrong person, and this is not the love of their life. This is not somebody that they have a deep relationship with. This is somebody that maybe they're cheated on. Maybe they break up with them without telling them, and they're with another woman. It's not the kind of relationship that you would consciously want, but subconsciously you're calling it in because of your beliefs. And so I have to work with people on that too. You know, I've worked with many people going back to childhood, which has to do with maybe with their dad in particular. So that is a big one. And your beliefs will create the relationship that you have with your family members as well. Do you have close relationships with your family members? Do you have close relationships with your siblings? Because that's probably passed down as well. You know, if you don't, then maybe your family didn't have close relationships. And so that's passed down. And that's a belief that you can change. You could easily change that belief system too. You know, you can have that cleared and you can put in the new beliefs that is that, you know, I'm loving and lovable and I find love everywhere. And I am with the most amazing man who loves me unconditionally for who I am and loves everything about me. And, you know, those are the kind of beliefs that you want to say. But what are the kind of beliefs that you have that gave you the results? Always look at your results because your results are telling. You can't justify anything, but, you know, you can't say, well, I really don't think that. No, if you thought it, you got the result. It is that clear. So let's talk about spirituality and what beliefs might be impacting your spirituality. You know, there's a difference between spirituality and religion. And so your religion might impact your spirituality. I know that was for me. I grew up Catholic, and so I had some deep-rooted things there. And I went to, you know, Catholic school, Catholic grammar school, Catholic high school. And so I had some beliefs there that impacted my thinking as well, good ones and ones that didn't work. So you have to look into that. What do you believe about your spirituality? Do you believe that you're very powerful, that you have a higher power within you, that you have greatness within you, that you're worthy of abundance, that you can be, do, and have, and that you have the capabilities to share your gifts with the world? So your beliefs will impact that as well, because your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. This is really a powerful statement. Your outer world, what you see, is a reflection of your inner world, and that is your beliefs in your heart of hearts, how you feel. And the beliefs that are passed down to you are the ones that run the show. So you always have to know that, because, you know, we do a lot of work on ourselves, right? You know, we take classes, we read great books, but that alone isn't going to change those beliefs that are deep-rooted, that are subconscious. So you have to know that you really do have to release those beliefs so that that changes and that doesn't run the show anymore. That what runs the show are those really powerful, supportive beliefs that you're so magnificent and that you are so great and that you have so many gifts and talents and that you can be anything and do anything and that you believe in yourself, that you can do it and that you're good enough, you're worthy enough. So those are the beliefs that you really need to check. The next thing that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how are you living your dream life? Because this has an impact on your thinking, whether you're positive or negative. We talked a little bit about it on the first, I think it was first and second, is that you have greatness within. You have gifts and talents. You are very powerful, and this is powerful in a positive way, not in controlling anybody else, but that you can create and manifest all that you want and an abundant, beautiful life. But if you feel that you're not living to your fullest potential, you're not living to your highest potential, and that is going to shut you down. That is going to change your thinking and limit your thinking and put you more into a negative, because you're going to have that ceiling, that I can't be that. I can't do that. I can't have that. I'm not worthy enough. I can't spend that money. I can't have my business. I can't get the ideal clients. So are you living your dreams? And this is a big part when I'm coaching, because people aren't living their dreams. They're living other people's dreams. They're living their family's dreams, their parents' dreams. They're living their siblings, their significant other's dreams. They're living what they think their beliefs are, their limiting beliefs, dreams. And they just put a hold. They put a ceiling up there. And so they're not living their life that they desire. And that is going to make you very unhappy. That is going to really suck the joy out of your life. That is, that's going to lead to living out of ease, which is disease. So you've got to really check in and find out, are you living your dreams? And here's what happens. This happened with me, and it happens with so many people that I see, in particular that come to me in coaching. And it can come in different times for people, different ages, but typically, around 35, 40, people start thinking about, I'm not really living my dreams. I'm not really in the job that I like. I'm doing a really hectic paced, very stressful job, and it's really not bringing me what I want, or it's getting me sick and I've got to get out. And it can happen at any point. It happened to me when I was in corporate America, and I had a very successful career. And I had been dabbling in something else that I wanted to have as my business, but I was still doing a phenomenal job in corporate America, moving up the corporate ladder. And I had, again, created some other things that I wanted to have as my business, but I just didn't know when I wanted to pull the trigger on it and actually do it. So I went away to Cancun, and I came back with the, belief that I was going to make the decision and leave. And my vice president of sales called me into his office, and he was going to promote me. And he wanted to promote me to the next regional manager, which, would have been, there weren't that many women in management, high-level management positions. So it was a absolutely phenomenal opportunity. And so we had conversations about it. And I found out through the conversation that what I really, truly loved was I was a corporate trainer, and I was really good at it. And I got, I was the number one trainer in the company. But I really wanted to do that, and it wasn't their plan for me. Their plan for me was to be a regional manager, and I really didn't want to be a manager again. Didn't want to do that. Been there, done that, not my sweet spot. And I wanted to pursue corporate training. And he said, well, you can go back, but you have to do this gig for 2 to 4 years. I thought, I really don't want to do that. So I left his office, and I marched into my manager's office, and I gave my resignation right then and there. And people were like, what are you doing? I had all kinds of mixed reactions. My dad was ballistic, because it was like, what did you just do? Right. And then my coworkers were like, wait a minute, you're supposed to get promoted and you just put in your resignation. What's going on? Because in my heart of hearts, that's not what I wanted to do. That was my dream. It was my dream to coach. It was my dream to be a trainer. It wasn't my dream to be a manager. And it wasn't my dream to be taken off my path for 2 to 4 years. It was my dream to open up my own business. That was my dream in high school, to be a fashion designer. And so I pursued that. And so I left to open up my own business. And it was my dream job, my dream business, rather. It wasn't a job, it was my business. It was my dream. And I was so ecstatic. I was so happy. I was in that for 13 years. I loved it. Everything worked out for me. Everything. I started out right away with clients. I was selling to some of the best stores, the best galleries. I did my first show in New York, and Barney's approached me and wanted me to sell them my line. I had wonderful retailers that I was working with. I was a wholesaler. I had amazing clients at retail level when I had my own shows. I was featured in 4 films. My line of jewelry was featured in 4 films. I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because this was my sweet spot, and everything lined up for me because I was in bliss every day that I was working. Every day that I designed my collection, every day that I worked with my employees, every day that I taught them how to do the jewelry and the design work and the creation of it, I was blissful. Everything was working for me. And it wasn't hard work. It was, I did work. I worked long hours, but I loved what I was doing. And so it wasn't a struggle. I loved it. If you love what you do, you will be extremely happy and everything will fall into place. I recently had a conversation with a cousin of mine who was an attorney. And he had been an attorney for maybe 8 years and was doing very well. Worked for one of the top firms, was doing very well, made a lot of money. Wasn't a sweet spot anymore. He said he was arguing because he was in litigation. And he said he felt like he was always arguing and it was always very negative, and that's not what his dream was. And so he left and he became an entrepreneur, and now he has a business not related at all. It's not in service. It was a product, and he's doing that, and he's extremely happy because he's living his dream. So how about you out there? Are you living your dream? Are you bold and courageous enough to live your dream? Are you bold enough to step out and follow your heart and maybe follow a different path, a different career, your own business perhaps, or maybe a different career? Maybe you want to try a different career. So are you bold enough to do that? Are you bold enough to move to a different city of your dreams? Are you bold enough to go on your dream vacation? Are you bold and courageous enough to find the love of your life? So if you do and you live your desires in authenticity, you are going to be extremely happy. You are going to be so positive that you're just going to be beaming and people are going to see it around you and you're just going to have a great life. So you've got to see what you're doing and what your results are. And is that what you truly want in your life? You know, I take people through a pretty intensive program and for them to uncover their dreams. It's not my dreams. I don't tell them what to do. There's no right or wrong. If they wanted to go off and move to Italy and start a farm, that would be amazing because it's their dream. If they wanted to start their own career and have their own business and leave, you know, a corporate job that they were very successful in, I would support them because it's their dream. It's whatever makes them happy. Living wherever they want, being with whoever they want, having whatever they want in their life, you know, that's their dream. And to fulfill that will make them truly happy because you're living your life on purpose, for you to have meaning, for you to live and share your gifts and talents is going to make you extremely happy. To work with people, to serve others and sharing your gifts and talents is going to increase your positivity. And so really look within and see what is holding you back, because to live in alignment with why you're here is going to create a lot of positivity in your life. So look outside to who you're hanging out with, who your environment is. You learn the cancel. You learn find the gold. Find the gold, find what's within. And I'm going to suggest in this from part 3 is that you give yourself quiet time to connect and get to know who you really are, because all of those beliefs that you have within came from other people. You didn't choose those. You didn't choose those beliefs. It came from other people. And you're living your life with those beliefs, other people's desires, other people's thoughts. So this would be a great time for you to just go into a quiet place. If you do meditation, great. If not, just do reflection and just ask yourself the questions. Am I living my dreams? What do I really want to do? What do I really want to have? And be bold to get the answers and do something with them so that you can increase your positivity and live the life of your dreams and live blissfully happy, because that's what it's about. And that's what coaching is about. You know, it's about you uncovering that. So you uncover what do you really want in your life, you know, and people come to me at different ages. You know, I'm working with somebody who's 22 and he's a very highly conscious person. He's already on that path because he's starting at 22 wanting to live his dreams. He's at 22 wanting to be authentic. He's asking him these hard questions. What do you really want in your life? He's being coached. he's going through that, and he's going through the exercises, which they're not easy because you've got to ask yourself these tough questions and you uncover what you really want and who you are. And then, you're going to clear those beliefs, which is a good thing. It's pain-free. And then you're going to set your goals so that you can live those goals and be really happy. Other people come when they're 40, they have that moment. Other people come after a corporate career and they're 50, 55, 60, and they're like, done with that, want to do something different. So people come at different times, but it's for their change and transformation. And it's amazing because they do. If they have the belief that they can and they have the desire that they want to, they will do that. So I'm going to open it up, and anybody have any questions here? Anybody have any questions? Anything that I can help you with right now to answer any of your questions? Kim, any questions that you might have? So I'm going to offer something to you. For those of you that found value in this and you want to go forward in your life, there's a couple things. You could click onto the link that I'll put on here, and you can get the video series for part 1, 2, and 3 if you just joined today, if you just joined as a replay on the replay, and you just listened to this first one and you missed the first 2, you can catch them. You can just sign up for that. You'll get an email. You'll get the email with the link, and you'll be able to watch the 3 to change your life and increase your positivity because you're wiping out the negativity. So you can subscribe to that. The other thing is that for those people that really want to know options and learn what they can do to move forward, I am offering a discovery session. And the discovery session are for people who want to change their life or coaches. And if you want to learn the program that I have, which is the clearing technique and how to help your clients live an authentic life, you can also, I'll put a link in, and you could get on my schedule and we can do a discovery session. So it's a 30-minute discovery session, and I'll give you some options and some answers. So I can help you with that. So Kim, let me just check in with you at the last time here. You're finding a coach block on my path. How do I know whether it is no or try harder? Applied kinesiology, checking in with yourself, your intuition is a way to really do that. Get deep within and find out, is this true? I believe in applied kinesiology. I studied that for, 6 years in different forms. I studied it in wellness, and I studied it as an energy worker. And I truly believe in it. It's just you have all the answers within. And so you want to find out, because here's what happens. You have all the answers within, and when you get quiet and you check in and you ask the question and you don't think, but it comes to you. It comes to you through inspired action. It comes to you through your higher power. However, you've got an ego, and the ego kicks in, and the ego is like, oh, no, I'm right. Let me tell you what the answer is. And then you can have the conflict of what you got from your subconscious, which was your intuition, conflicting with your ego. And sometimes it's hard to tell what's what. But when you do applied kinesiology, and you've got to let go of the attachment. Your emotions are your ego. When you become emotionally attached, it's coming from ego. If you could detach your emotions, and that's what's important, is not be emotionally attached to anything. And it could sound like, well, what does that mean? That I don't care? No, you do. But you can't have that deep attachment. Because if you have that deep attachment, let's just say for your career, if I had that deep attachment to my career in corporate America, that, oh my God, I had a great career, I was going to be promoted, I can't leave because I'm getting a phenomenal income. I can't do that. I can't leave that. And I'm emotionally attached because what would I do? Where would I get my income? How do I know I'm going to be able to get money? How do I know I'm going to be successful? I can't do that. And then I go listen to the ego, and then it would stop me from living my dream and having my dream job. I mean, my dream business. It would stop me. So you've got to check in. Is it ego? Are you attached? Are you emotionally attached? You have to care, but not that much. Yeah, absolutely. You have to care, but not that much. You care, but not that much. So that attachment has to be very slight, is that I'm attached because I'm pursuing my passion and my desire, and I'm pursuing my dreams, and I'm living in authenticity. But I have to know that the universe is going to provide something better for me. You have to have faith. You have to have total faith in the universe, which is a spiritual belief, right? You have to have a total belief that everything will work out for you in the end. Everything will always work out for you. You know, I changed careers. I changed careers not once, but twice. Actually, I changed more than that, because in corporate America, I changed. I had the leap of faith that I would be okay. I had the leap of faith that it's going to work out, that I'm going to be good wherever I'm at. I'm going to make it. I'm going to be successful. And so I just did. I just leaped. I went off the high dive without looking. And so I left corporate America. And then after having a successful business, which was my dream business, I pursued something else because I really felt my intuition was talking to me. My higher power was talking to me to help people on a deeper level. And that was in wellness and in coaching and energy work. And so I left that, you know, my passion, because I had a different passion and a different purpose. And so you uncover what your true purpose is and where you're really meant to serve. And you uncover your true gifts and talents. You know, I thought it was jewelry design, but that path was needed to take. If I didn't take that path and start my own business, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I might have still been a corporate trainer, but I would have not been spiritual like I am. I would have not had all that information about applied kinesiology. I would have not had all the energy work either, because my business that I had was a spiritual business. I was doing jewelry work, which was of stones that were of high vibration. And so I was changing people's vibration just from my jewelry. And my clients would tell me that. They didn't know that it was vibration. They just said, I feel amazing with your jewelry. And so I was changing the world spiritually without knowing, but I was listening to my intuition by being guided. So you just have to kind of let go and just have faith. Faith is really, and belief. Faith and belief is really important. So Kim, thank you. So I want to thank everybody for being here, and replayers, thank you very much. If you found value, if you would share this, because again, my purpose in life is to help others and to serve others to have a beautiful life, living their dreams. So please share. Also give me some likes and loves, because, you know, we love that. And so does Facebook, so that it can be kind of recycled more and more. Thank you for being here. Please look for the links. And again, you can get the three-part series, and also you can sign up for a discovery session. And I'm going to be doing more. I'll be doing a series next week as well. So kind of be on the lookout for that. So again, thank you people for being here. Thank you replayers. I so appreciate you. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.